The case file on the Greys? Yeah, it's been collecting dust since a saucer supposedly went down in the New Mexico desert. The paper screamed little green men. But the truth? The truth is a hell of a lot older than Roswell, and it didn't come from some distant star. What we've been chasing isn't an alien. It's a spirit. And after all this time, my investigation is finally closed.
You see, the key to this whole rotten business isn't up in the cosmos. It's closer. Way closer. It's in our language, in the static buzzing between our own ears. We're not being hunted by a creature. We're haunted by a concept, a relentless, nagging whisper I've come to call the spirit of no.
The real perp here is a ghost in the machine of your own mind. It's a philosophical phantom, an idea Goethe was onto, that takes any little annoyance, a misplaced key, a stalled car, a flicker on a screen, and it pulls it inside you. It turns a fleeting moment of frustration into a permanent feature of your inner world, a gothic stain right on your soul. Now, to understand this spirit, you gotta follow the blood trail. And this one goes way back. I'm talking 1,000 years, back to its violent linguistic origins. Before it learned to whisper, it screamed. This whole thing gets its name from an old word, gremlin. And back then, it wasn't some feeling you talked about. No, it was a raw, physical act of vexation. The grinding of teeth, the taste of iron and bile in your mouth. It was a warrior's rage, a smith's frustration at the forge. Pure physical hostility. So here's the twist. This spirit of no took that primal hostility, that ancient grom, and it moved it. It shifted the whole battlefield from the sword arm to the soul. The provocation wasn't some guy with an axe anymore. It became a permanent internal condition. The enemy was inside the gates. Let's jump forward now, into the 20th century. This is where our age-old spirit finds a brand new home, trading the grit of the forge for the cold, hard certainty of our own technology. You can track this spirit's movements like any other perp. It starts in the forge heart of the 11th century. By the roaring 20s, it's a specter haunting the cockpit, a phantom personifying the absolute negation of flight. And by the middle of the century, it disappears completely, burying itself in our technical jargon. And this is the cover-up. The ego, that weary steward of the mind, it masks that ancient hostility with these clean modern excuses. The vexation of the sword arm, that's just instrument drift. That deep, boiling rage, it's a simple system failure. But don't let the fancy words fool you. These aren't just minor inconveniences. Every glitch, every stutter, every so-called system error, it's the same old ghost, the same ancient white, just repackaged for a world that believes in circuits, not spirits. And it's all designed for one thing, to shatter your composure. Which brings us to the climax of this whole affair, the materialization. We're on the obsidian plains of a counter-Earth now, and the Greys have arrived. But they're not invaders. They're interstellar auditors. And they're here to conduct an interrogation of the soul itself. Just look at them. Their appearance is a grotesque, uncanny mirror. Spindly, pallid, all obsidian eyes and cold, sterile intent. They look like a fetus-like caricature, because that's exactly what they are, a physical reflection of our own stunted internal discord, a hollowed-out version of the self, given form. The second you see one, a civil war kicks off inside your head. Your id, that primal part of you, just recoils in rage at the Grey's coldness. Then the superego, your inner critic, swoops in like a cold judge, seasoning all that vexation with a nice, heavy dose of guilt. And all the while, the poor ego is trying to paper it all over, calling an invasion of the soul a simple technical failure. And this superego, this high court I call the Gremian Council, well, that's the real phantom menace. It loves to watch you stumble. It holds up a mirror to every one of your flaws and makes damn sure every ambitious yes you utter is met with an icy chime of denial. Its whole job is to make sure your agitation is an eternal condition. So how does this cosmic dread play out on the ground floor? Well, for that, the investigation moves to the 1980s. This is where the spirit gets a Hollywood makeover, repackaged for a brand new era of suburban anxiety. See, the primordial grim nature of this beast didn't need a cockpit anymore. It found a new hunting ground in the chaos that's always lurking just beneath the surface of modern convenience. It started manifesting in microwaves, televisions, even blenders. Think about it. Those 3 simple rules from the movies, they're a perfect mirror of the superego's strict, arbitrary laws. You break them, and you unleash a flood of resentment. Your own tools turn against you. It's a parable, you see. When you lack internal stillness, you invite external chaos.
And this is where the shift becomes permanent. The spirit evolves from a verb, gremel, the act of being provoked, into a noun, a gremlin. It's no longer just something that happens to you. It's an agent, a thing with a face that does it to you. We gave our own anger a name and a body. And that brings me to the end of this long, dark road. It's time to stamp this case file closed and finally deliver the uncanny, unavoidable truth of the matter. So here it is, the whole story. The entity was never really external. The grays, the gremlins, the glitches in the machine, they're all just a mirror, a reflection of our own internal discord, our own unbridled anger, our own simmering blood given a face. All this time, we've been chasing our own shadow across the cosmos. And where does it get its power? Well, it's a parasite of vexation. Only about 10% of its fuel is the actual thing that happens, the external trigger. The other 90%, that's on us, our own infinite pride. It only has power because we provide the fire. Which brings us to the final question, the one this entire damn investigation has been pointing to from the start. If the grays are just a mirror of our own failings, who then is the first agent? What's the original source of all this dread? The gray phantom, that cold, sterile auditor from the stars, is the ghost of our own future obsolescence. It's the creeping metallic dread of becoming outdated, irrelevant, of being replaced. It's the terror that the very machines we built to master the universe will one day master us. So is there a defense against a ghost like that? Only one. You have to cease the struggle. You have to starve the beast. Refuse to give it the anger it craves. You have to find a stillness inside that doesn't need a single thing from the outside world to prove it's there. In the end, after all the miles, all the files, all the dead-end leads, it all comes down to this one simple fact. We're still bound by the ancient laws of the heart. The grim spirit, the gray phantom, whatever you want to call it only has the power that we give it. So the real question is, will you keep providing the fire? Case closed.